Started in the year of 2020. Weekly episodes, there are plenty. Some are serious, some are funny, oh yeah. Oh, wow, what do you know? It's time for the Pocket Knife Show. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, it's Mike on the mic again for another episode of the Pocket Knife Podcast. There's a bumper sticker I've seen a dozen times or more. It says, Jesus is coming back. Look busy. I think be busy would be a better way to put what Jesus wants for and from us. I think he'd say, busy yourself with the work, the good deeds which the Spirit leads you to do. Serve others in his power, do it day in and day out. I know it's not a good idea to put words in Jesus' mouth, but he did say things very close to that. I read some of his words recently while thinking about his second coming. Before Jesus launches into parables about what it will be like when he returns, he urges his followers, in Matthew 24:45-51, to follow. Hear him out. Who then is the faithful and wise servant whom the master has put in charge of the servants in his household to give them their food at the proper time? It will be good for that servant whose master finds him doing so when he returns. Truly, I tell you, he will put him in charge of all his possessions. But suppose that servant is wicked and says to himself, my master is staying away a long time, and he then begins to beat his fellow servants and to eat and drink with drunkards. The master of that servant will come on a day when he does not expect him and at an hour he is not aware of. He will cut him to pieces and assign him a place with the hypocrites, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. The Spirit has things for us to do while we eagerly await Jesus' return. He will prompt us to act when we see needs around us. The only question, will we act? Not sure what to do? Take your cue from Jesus' parable of the sheep and the goats. In this story, Jesus tells us what things we can and should do as we wait for the day of his return. He also says something important about who we're serving when we serve those around us. I'm reading Matthew 25:31-40. When the Son of Man comes in his glory and all the angels with him, he will sit on his glorious throne. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate the people one from another as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will put the sheep on his right and the goats on his left. Then the king will say to those on his right, come, you who are blessed by my Father, take your inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since the creation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me. Then the righteous will answer him, Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and invite you in, or needing clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and go to visit you? The king will reply, truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. When opportunity arises, Jesus urges us to care for the needs of others, in the church and outside of it, to love our neighbor as ourself. He says when we do this, we're feeding him, we're clothing him, we're visiting him, and we'll be rewarded for our service to him. Jesus also says in the rest of the parable that those who don't care for those needs will be judged. They will, verse 46 of chapter 25 says, go away to eternal punishment, but the righteous, the verse continues, to eternal life. What are you doing while you regularly glance at the skies, expecting Jesus' return? Is your life filled with service to and for Jesus? You don't know the day or the hour when Jesus will come. So be busy. Oh no, it's that I know we've come to the end of the show. Whoa, 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 whoa. See you next time.